others.
Yes, yes.
Are they comfortable with all this?
Very comfortable, very, very supportive. Yes, I do give them attention. I'm always with them. With me and my kids, we are like friends. We talk about everything. I joke with them. We do everything together. Unfortunately, 3 of them are not in the country.
Wow.
They are outside the country, but I do visit them once in a while. We are always on WhatsApp or whatever they call it. And when the idea of adopting these 50 kids came in, I called each and every one of them. And I told them, I said, listen, God has blessed us so much, isn't it? They said, yes, mommy. I said, yes, of course, you've been blessed. You are in America, you are schooling. The first one just graduated in December last year. The second one is also in school. The third one, has been enrolled into the U.S. Army. The little one is just, a kid at the SOS. And then the other 2 adopted ones, the oldest is working now. The one after the oldest is with me at the school. He's also, in the nursing training. So I told them, listen, God has blessed us so much. You live in America. I believe when you eat, there's a lot of waste that you normally put in the garbage and all that. Mommy is coming up with this idea of adopting 50 children from an orphanage. Is that okay with you? Then they all went like, hey, mommy, is a good idea. Because they've always lived with a lot of people in the house. So it is not strange to them. I always have boys and girls with us. So when you come to my house, you can hardly tell the difference who is really my child. So they are used to that. And so when I said that, I said, okay, now this is what we are going to do. Although you are very young, you just completed school, some of you are still in school, but I want to instill that discipline that my mom gave me into you by asking you to give at least $10 a month. They are very young, so if I say 20, they'll start yelling. I said $10 every month, which will come up like, no, not $10, $5 a month, which will be like $60 a year out of your part-time job to support these needy children. And they're like, okay, mommy, that's a good idea. I said, fine. So we are going to start. And I'm going to start on my birthday. And they said, they really embraced the idea. They supported it. And they wanted to know, how are they going to get the money to me? I said, don't worry. When the account is opened and all that, I'll, let you know and then they contribute.
Who is your mentor? Or who are your mentors?
Oh, very good. I think my first mentor is my mother. My mother, I love my mom. Initially, as I told you, I thought being strict, being so disciplined, being rigid, so as hard as still, it's like she hated me. But when I lost her, that is where I realized that I've lost, something
very precious.
Very precious. My mom, as I said, giving, I think started from her, because we always had house helps with us and going to church and doing things for church. I was very young, I didn't understand what she was doing actually. And then she also cultivated the habit of savings. At a very tender age, when she left for Liberia, she asked me to open an account. And then whenever, the rent is due, she owned a place. Whenever the rent is due, she would tell me to take the money and put it in account, and was always advising me to save, and also learn how to forgive. My mom would tell me, whenever somebody step on your toes, you shouldn't hesitate to tell them your peace of mind. Let them know that whatever they are telling you, you are not in agreement with that. As soon as you tell them your peace of mind, let it go, forgive, forget, and move on. And don't also hold anything back from your siblings. If you have, Mama, give out. Make sure you are always there for your siblings. So with all these things that she was telling me, at that time when she's saying it, it's like, Mom, you're talking too much noise every day, giving the gospel and all that. But when she died, that's where all these things came back to mind. And I said, yes, this is it. So my mom is my first mentor. And foremost mentor, my role model, my everything. Yes. And my second mentor is Joyce Ayi.
Oh.
I love Joyce very much. Joyce, if you're watching me this morning, I love you, Mom. I love you so much. You know, the first time I saw Joyce, I was at Methodist Church, Mount Olivet Methodist Church. She came there and then she preached, and I was so touched as to, she was telling a story how she has left politics and now she's a born-again Christian and all that. And I was really, touched by then. So since then, I've really been following her program and everywhere she goes, which I'm sure she doesn't know. Actually, we've spoken on phone once, yes. So Joyce is my mentor. I look up to her a lot. And then Oprah. I believe Oprah
Winfrey?
Yeah, Oprah Winfrey.
Wow.
I believe Oprah is a very strong woman. And she has kept her standard to date,
Yeah, maybe, she was in South Africa to also,
exactly,
adopt some children.
Exactly.
Oh, so you are just taking after her.
So, I didn't even thought of Oprah when I was going to adopt the kids.
Wow.
But then after I did that and, everything went through, I was just browsing on the net and I saw Oprah with her children at the orphanage. And apparently, the dress that Oprah was wearing, I had a similar thing that I was going to wear at the orphanage. And I said, that's why she's my mentor. So, yes.
So, and you never knew this?
No.
So it was the same dress that the two of you
Exactly.
wore? Wow, that's interesting. Now, you are a female.
Yes.
And we've been talking about, assisting female, making female to be good. Now, your mom was able to build a good you, and today you are enjoying it. And but fortunately, here are you, all your children are men.
Yeah.
So you don't have. So how do we train the female children?
That's very interesting, and I think on this particular one, I'll be a bit biased. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. I always say this. Normally, when I bring girls to my home, they don't last. They live there for about a while, a year or two, and then they all check out. But the boys normally stay. So I said, well, maybe God knows why, he gave me boys. But on a very serious note, I've been battling with my mind for some time now. We keep talking about girl-child education, which I'm in support of it, because my mother gave me that education, and that has what made me who I am today. I do support the idea. But then I also asked few people around. We keep emphasizing on girl-child education. We've forgotten that as we drag the girls, along and leaving the boys behind, now, Moses, tell me, who are these girls going to get married to when they grow up? We are giving them all the attention. They are going to the best schools. We are giving them all the tutorials they need, going to the best tertiary institutions, giving them all the boost and, the encouragement that they have. And if you look around, you could really tell that the girls are really doing well now in the system. I mean, women, when it comes to women and girls and all that. But when we look back, we've left the boys behind. These boys are the ones on the street. When you go on the street, you see them selling dog chains, hanging around the corners, doing their own thing, weed, drugs, and all that. The question I asked is, when our girls finish their universities and get all the degrees and the PhDs and then the positions at the job and all that, don't you think they will lack something else in life? That is, having a husband and having a good home, a good family. They've already left their mates on the streets, which are the boys. So by the time they finish their tertiary education, getting all these good jobs, their mates will be on the streets, hopping from one place to another, not having anything to do. So my...
so they will still go back to marry the men we abandoned?
They might not even marry them because their level will be too high for them. So they won't even go back to marry the guys on the street, or maybe guys who are not well educated and don't have good jobs. So they'll end up not having husbands. And if they're not having husbands, how are they going to have the home that our Creator asked us to build on this earth? Having a husband, having a good home, having a family, having children makes life complete. I believe so. My mother was a single parent. So I'm not saying that being a single parent is bad, because I believe there are a lot of strong single mothers there who are doing much better.
Yep.
But as you know, although that is also there, we also need to encourage the young guys to move alongside with the girls. So I'll plead with the society, as much as we are emphasizing and focusing on girl-child education, they shouldn't forget about the boys. That is the more reason why I always bring in boys, into my domain, so that I can also
then what
help them
would
around.
you want to do for the boys? Because now that you are advocating for the boys.
Exactly. Aside the 50 children that I've adopted and invested for them, one other thing it's very heavy on my heart, and I'm still praying to God, keep praying to God that He should give me the opportunity to do for the boys, is that I want to set up a center. I don't know how I'm going to call the center, but the idea that I have in mind is a place where these young boys will run to and seek for help and seek for advice and be motivated, talk to, let them know that all is not lost. Because Moses, that it's very difficult for guys to get help than ladies. Mm-hmm. Ladies, we always, have our ways and means of getting help from, because guys always have a very soft spot for girls. But when it comes to guys, if me and you goes to a place to seek for help, trust me, I'll get the help and you may not get it, because they believe you're a guy. So it's making things very difficult for our young guys to get there. So I'm praying to God to help me so that I can set up a small center, not a huge one, very small center, whereby we'll have philanthropists coming in, we'll have, our learned people being there once in a week or once in a month to talk to these young ones, encourage them, get them off the street, and let them start from somewhere so that they can, take it from there. For instance, my school, I do give a lot of scholarship to young guys. Yes, I do give a lot of scholarship.
Apart from the ones you adopted?
Oh, apart from that, I do.
Oh, they are in your school and you are giving scholarship to them in your school?
Yes. I mean, when we are doing the interview, sometimes I just look at them and I listen to their story, and by the time I realize, I will be sharing tears. And then I'll go back to my office and call my deputy and tell him this and this and that, these 2 people, 3 people. I want them to give them scholarship, especially when they are guys. And, they tell me their story that they don't have anybody to help them, but they still want to make life, for themselves. And I say, just give them the scholarship. Let them go through the course. And more so, they are qualified for the program. So why not? Why not?
Wow. This is interesting, I must say. And of course, those of you out there watching this program, you have learnt a lot from a woman. If you have another way of describing this woman, you say she belongs to the timber and caliber of this world. But then I must say, this is a woman that is actually giving back to the society. I have done my research about her, and I've discovered that not that she's that, very, very rich as you may think, but this is one woman that is really giving life to the people. Now, if you look at all of these things that you are doing, one would say these are missing in our society. How do we fix it? All this missing point. When are we going to get the likes of you that will be maybe in a country where we have up to 50 women that will be doing the same thing that you are doing? And then, of course, if we have 50 in each of the countries in Africa, we'll be able to say that Africa is a better place for us to live. So when are we going to get that?
I think that, first of all, we have to seek wisdom from God. First of all, we have to seek wisdom from God, because Proverbs 4:7 says, getting wisdom, beginning of wisdom is getting wisdom. I mean, something about, I've forgotten the quotation, but, Proverbs 4:7. And beginning of wisdom is, it gives you the direction in life. Since I have prayed over it and God has given me the direction as to what to do, I believe others can also do that. I know there are lots of people who can do more than what I have done. And then if someone is also watching me, I'm sure they have the capability of doing it, but they might have not gotten the idea yet. If we all come together from my small corner doing this, somebody else from a small corner doing that, somebody else from another corner doing it, I believe, Africa will be a better place for all of us. It's just a matter of, identify who we are, why we are on this earth, our purpose on this earth, and also knowing that as you get up every morning, being able to put food on your table, there are others out there who are not even getting that privilege. Maybe even one meal a day, it's very difficult for them. We are all not privileged. So when we think through it and everybody try to help from their own small corner, it will be
everybody should try to help from his or her own corner. That is why I gave my introduction from the message someone sent to my mail, that how do you then describe someone whose own children cannot benefit from what he has? How will such person be able to touch other people out there? Here is a woman that is touching so many lives and has helped several people and still helping. Someone said to me that you were 50 and you have adopted 50 children. Then that means you will live for another 50 years?
Yeah, really. Well, I thank God for that. I'm flattered, and I hope my Lord will let me live longer to serve His purpose on this earth. Actually, what I also added to it when I went to the home, and I was talking to my mom at the home, I said, "Mom, you know what? These 50 kids, I'm hoping that when I'm 70 years, my children will be like maybe 18 or 21 years. And then at my 70th birthday, I'll have all of them around me, including my 6 boys. I'll have all of them around me, so I'll celebrate my 70th birthday. I'm just praying to see all these 50 kids at that time. So if somebody said they are going to add 50 years to it, then I think if I hit 100, it's a blessing for me. Yeah.
Now, as we get to go, leadership in Africa.
Yeah.
I also got from my research that you are also a politician.
Oh.
Are you a forefront politician?
No. Yes. No. Yes. Actually, I was serious.
This is the first time you are answering one question to be yes, no.
Yes, I've been actively involved in politics some time back. But then now I've taken a backstage, just working, towards my business, trying to grow my business. And I believe I'll resurface again and be actively involved again.
You still resurface again?
Yes, I will. I love politics.
Now, because you are going to resurface, what would you say we need to put together as leaders in Africa?
First and foremost, I think Africa, we are blessed. Africa is blessed. But we need to be united. Africa needs to be united. We need to have a free, especially when we are traveling across the borders, like the United States. You can leave Ohio, go to New Jersey, from there to New York, free kind of movement. So we need to be united first of all. African leaders, we're supposed to, embrace each other, have the same mindset. And then also, we are blessed in terms of resources. The gold, the mine, the diamonds, the iron oil, timber, and all that clay. We have so many things. And I will say at this point that if African leaders can put value on these things, that is by, refining them in Africa, having factories that will refine our timber, our gold, our diamonds, instead of exporting them in a raw state. It doesn't add value to it. By doing so, we're also creating jobs for our own, so that our young guys and ladies will stay in Africa and work hard. It's about time that we let Africa also be, a trade market where people will come into Africa and buy our goods and take it away. Instead of us going to China all the time, going to Dubai, Turkey, and other places. It's all because we've added value to our rich resources. So if we're able to, do such things, I believe Africa will be a better place for. Don't forget that Africa, we are almost 1.2 billion. So the market is quite big. The market is quite big. So if African leaders when they go to AU meetings, I've never been there before. If they go to the AU meetings and they're able to, put all these things together and have a one front kind of, idea, we'll get there. Africa will be a better place for us.
Well, Africa will be a better place if we all come together and if we do what she's also doing, because this is one thing that I've really, really appreciated so much. A woman that is doing all this. A woman, not a man. Honestly, when I got all this and I had opportunity of speaking with her on phone, I said, you have touched me, and I will also try to do exactly. If I cannot even adopt 50, maybe by the time I'm also 50, in some years to come, I'll also adopt 50 children. And then I'll also give life to 50 other children. I want to thank you very much. Amen. But I'd like you to say something. Maybe you want to appreciate some few people before we leave this program, and then I will let go of you.
Thank you. Yes, first of all, I would like to thank the Almighty God for bringing me this far. I mean, we are not on this earth for our own interests, but for the interest of our Creator. So I thank Him for giving me wisdom every day to go on. And secondly, I also like to thank Emma Yeboah and Captain Retired Yeboah of the Countryside Orphanage for giving me the privilege to give to those kids. And then I also like to thank my staff for the support that they gave me when I came up with this idea. Madam, it's a good idea, it's a good cause, and we're all supporting.
They didn't say it will affect their salary.
That is why I'm thanking them, because I thought they would say, oh, actually it's not from their salary anyway, it's from my salary, so it won't affect them. But they did give me the support. And I also like to thank my deputy. He's been a very wonderful person, supporting me in all my endeavors. And not forgetting my board members. I thank my board chairman, Reverend Ampawe Siedu, and all my board members. I thank them very much. I also like to thank my children for, supporting the idea and not saying that, no, mommy, no, that's too much, why don't you send us the money and all that. They also, embraced it with joy and all that. I thank them so much. And finally, I would like to thank all my friends. All my friends. I had about 50 or 60 people with me at the day of the presentation at the orphanage. I thank you so much for making the 50th birthday a wonderful one. And I hope, at that place they keep saying, God bless you, Abba Folson, God bless you, Abba Folson. I said, no, God bless us all for the good hearts that we had for that day. The kids.
Well, thank you very much, Madam, for coming on Trailblazers Africa today. I hope you have really enjoyed staying with me. Well, she says she really enjoyed staying with me, and I do believe that those of you watching this program that gave us your eyeballs, you also enjoyed staying with us, especially staying with her, listening to the story and what she has done for the society and what she continues to do. We want to say a big thank you for watching, and of course the production crew of ID Johnson, Elvis is also in the house, Rule, Lord, Arthur Morgan, everybody, Dan, I thank you all, and of course the editor, I will never forget you, Alhaji Kofi Anna Awal. That is the name that we have given him right here at Krista TV. Moses Owopade is my name. By the grace of God, I'll be back again with another guest next week. Have a wonderful week ahead, and God bless you for watching. Bye-bye.